Hi, my name is Ugnius, I'm a pianist educator, and in today's video I'll share a small number of my favorite piano exercises by Johannes Brahms. Overall, Brahms composed a total of 51 exercises, and by looking at the entire book from the beginning to the end, you will notice that these exercises treat the most difficult combinations of contrary motion, widespread intervals, chromatic runs with varied fingerings, as well as leaps and jumps. As I mentioned before, I will look at a small number of exercises concentrating on hand and arm flexibility, some light stretches, contrary motion, and of course, hand coordination. Exercise number 1 is scale-based exercise in contrary motion with a bit of arpeggio involved. The tricky part here is the 3 against 4 rhythm, which is very common in piano music. For this particular exercise, it is very important to find a good sense of pulse and notice the notes that are played on the beat. Practicing those notes first will get you the structure of each bar. It will basically allow you to organize the whole bar very neatly, thus helping you in later stages when it comes to synchronization. The next step to master in this exercise is the independence and flexibility of your thumb from the rest of the fingers. Good movement of your thumb will allow you to get the transition smoothly from position to position. Here is an example for you of the flexible thumb versus the non-flexible thumb. Notice how much arm movement is involved in order to compensate for that lack of the non-existing thumb flexibility during the position changes. That excessive arm movement will make the sound uneven and will limit the tempo quite a bit. Number 5 is the exercise that consists of 2 techniques mainly. Like in the exercise number 1, the thumb here is playing a vital role in between the transitions. The retraction motion of the thumb and the pinky is the core part of the exercise. Getting that transition smoothly will allow you to move quicker from position to position. The second technique required is the ability to play broken octaves within the exercise. The hard thing here, for me at least, is the measurement of the exact size of the octaves after I expand my hand. Sometimes I might hit a 9th, or sometimes I might hit a 7th instead of an octave. I guess first and probably the best approach to this exercise would be practice just the octaves and getting the right measurement of the size of the octave and each position too. Practice with metronome and of course slowly increase the tempo. Practice this exercise if it was mainly for octaves. Also, practice the joints after you've spent a bit of time practicing octaves solely. Remember, all should be played slightly, no force or extra pressure added is necessary. Pay attention to the dynamic marks and any other instructions by the composer. In this particular exercise, Brahms directs the pianist to play piano and leggero, which literally means quiet and light. Number 7, although may be considered as one of the simpler exercises, but for my hands it certainly isn't. Simply because I have big hands. for me to kind of squeeze them into little tiny shapes feels really uncomfortable. The difficulty arises here from the fingers not being the same length, especially the thumb being the shortest and because of its position in the hand. Therefore, to play lightly, evenly and quickly, one should apply a bit of tilting motion in order to help the fingers to reach the required notes, especially when it comes to the thumb. Similarly to the exercise number 1, you should practice just the notes that land on the beat first to allow you to memorize the reference points and synchronize your hands, which will later help you to perform at quick tempos. Like in the previous exercises, the number 8's difficulty lies in those micro changes of hand position. The ever-changing arpeggiated shapes and stretches between the fingers will make it hard to play in the first instance. So practice in chords from the very beginning as well as in groups of 2s and 3s. This will teach you the required positions, eventually helping you to move on and play as originally intended. Another thing to pay attention to is the hand choreography. Being stiff and trying to play it all in one hand position is a no-go for me. So playing this exercise, your fingers will need help to reach certain notes in specific hand positions. Therefore, apply that sort of circular motion to keep your hands relaxed, as in this example. The next few exercises, I dare to say, are my favorite ones in the entire book. The harmony and the arpeggiated figurations in country motion with a bit of sustaining pedal makes it sound almost impressionistic. It definitely feels like a piece of music rather than an exercise. There are 4 main components required in order to master these exercises. So the number 1 is the ability to play in circular motion, then the ability to play and adapt to different hand positions. The third one would be to practice in specific groups of notes to lock the hand positions in. And then the last one is the ability to stay relaxed and try to play as musically as possible. Treating the exercises as pieces of music rather than a technically challenging exercise is very, very important. Okay, so what do I mean by saying the ability to be able to play in circular motion? Well, for some of you, the stretches between the fingers might feel awkward in these exercises. Therefore, applying a slight circular motion will help you to reach the notes that are far away from each other. Second step in this exercise is to get used to the hand positions where possible by practicing in chords. And then the third step is locking the positions by splitting the chords in half and playing that in smaller intervals such as thirds and seconds. This will helping your hand to adapt to different positions more easily. The ability to stay relaxed will come naturally if you feel good about doing the previous three things, such as the circular motion and the practicing in chords and intervals. The last point about staying musically is more complicated than it looks. I would suggest to pay attention to the major minor key changes by taking a bit of time, and maybe a slight ritenuto could be applied at the cadential points at the end of the exercise. It goes without saying that individual exercises can be slightly changed. These exercises are a great tool to work through and build your technique. They serve a variety of different technical challenges, and I think it will find a space in every pianist's practice routine. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you go and check my Patreon page where you can find a bonus video where I share a few extra little tips to some of these exercises I already spoke about today. Do let me know in the comment section below which exercise is your favorite one and tell me why. And I'll make sure to make more videos on Brahms exercises if I see that there is a need from my viewers. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and make sure to leave me a thumbs up. In the meantime, stay safe, practice well, and I'll see you in the next video.